Okay, this is a request video, man. I'm not gonna lie. You know, I was like, damn, another Bills video, man. Shout out to whoever requested last time about the Bills video and I guess the history of the Bills, and the Bills really never really won, to be honest. Never really won a Super Bowl like that or whatever. But the Bills looking like they about to go stupid. Probably gotta cop me a Josh Allen or Stephon Diggs jersey. As you guys know, I rock the jerseys. But you guys can rock the jerseys too. All you gotta do is get me the 10K, get us the 10K subscribers. It will be two lucky swag game members to get any jersey they want. But look, man, I'm not gonna lie. Before we even get to the video, man, shout out to Go Get a Black for the request video, bro. Okay, okay. The Bills are literally changing how defense is played. That right there, I don't know. My Patriots is still better than the Bills, man. You know, defensive side of the ball, we just got to get a little better. Corners, everything else is better than the Bills. Just our corners. Our corners and Matt just got to start running the ball a little bit more. But really, our corners and receivers, that's all we got to do is get right on our corners and receivers. We get that right, you're done. Now look, before we even get to the video, man, the Bills are looking beautiful. They're looking nice. We got to stop Josh. When we play them, we got to stop Josh. But look, man, let's get into it, man. Yo, what's up, Swag? And you already know what time it is, man. It's your boy KLR, aka KL Swag. Back here with a video, man. Look, man. Request a video. Let's check it out. Shout out to Alex Rollins. Video. Oh, that was a beautiful pick. I'm not gonna lie. He didn't even have to show that, bro.
NFL, as we know it, is...
Bro, he didn't even have to show that, bro. Like...
going through one of its biggest changes in more than a decade. Defenses are dropping a second safety deep, which hasn't been happening all the way back since Matt Stafford's rookie season. Then in the 2010s following that, the Legion of Boom era, where everybody switched to playing just one deep safety. And now back to today, the NFL has moved back to two high, creating a ton of ripple effects. When one player moves across the field, that affects every single one of the other 10. Even with blitz rates plummeting across the league last season, I don't think anybody would have predicted what we saw on opening night.
I'm gonna lie, y'all. Let me turn on the lighter song, man. Let me turn on the lighter song because I gotta make sure the quality and everything look good for y'all. Hold on a second. That's a little better for y'all, man. All right, let's keep going.
The Bills literally not blitzing even once. Instead of sending extra defenders to pressure Stafford, the Bills only rushed 4, dropped everybody else into coverage, didn't blitz anybody, and held the Rams to a measly 10 points. So today, let's figure out exactly how they did it. To kick it off, we'll start by defining exactly what is a blitz, which is when the defense sends...
Okay. I like this little Bills breakdown.
more than 4 pass rushers at the quarterback. This is different than a pressure, which PFF defines as any time the quarterback is disturbed from his normal throwing motion from setup to release. And against the Bills, Stafford finished with a 38% pressure rate and 7 sacks, extremely high for not at all getting blitzed. The pressure was coming quick, but just from 4 guys. So the true key to the Bills' game plan was playing great coverage with the back 7 and using great disguise. They started with 2 deep safeties 89% of the game, which you would have never seen a couple years ago, where sometimes they'd rotate down into 1 high, other times they'd stay in 2 high, and when they did, they took away any of the deeper stuff the Rams wanted to use. Stafford had the 27th highest average depth of target at just 6.2, and the Bills knew if they could just get him to hesitate for a split second by disguising their coverages, the pressure would get home. In cover 2 zone, you have your 2 deep safeties, which helps free up some of the responsibility on the cornerbacks since they don't have to cover anything vertical.
Yeah.
This allows them to get hands on the receivers, bumping them at the line, and makes the quarterback hesitate since his guy isn't open and throws off his timing. Starting in 2 high and then rolling down or staying deep messed with Stafford pre-snap, but the Bills had other ways to confuse him too. They also mixed up their man-zone tells just to get him to hold the ball even a little longer.
Damn.
Here they're presenting just a 1 high safety with what clearly looks like man coverage. Cornerbacks are on receivers, linebackers on running backs. Each guy is staring at his assignment. They're tight in coverage. This screams man in every possible way.
Damn.
When the Rams motion Darrell Henderson across, watch Matt Milano put up his arm. This appears to be to tell each defender to bump over to take Henderson, which is actually a 1 high tell in zone since you only have 4 underneath defenders, but Milano is raising his hand just to fool Stafford. They drop into this crazy cover 2 zone with Taron Johnson playing a deep half, and the exotic look flusters Stafford. From his perspective, he's motioning Henderson away from Allen Robinson to get the one-on-one matchup on the slant against Dane Jackson because he thinks it's man coverage. And when he sees Milano put his arm up, he now figures it's some sort of 1 high, probably zone. When they drop 2 deep, there's more underneath coverage. The slant is taken away by Milano falling back into the window, and the quick pressure turns into a QB hit and a punt.
Damn.
Because the Bills were getting so much pressure, the Rams had to run a lot of short, quick game concepts just to even have a chance to get the ball out. Every NFL team runs what's called P.
And that explains why they really couldn't move the ball as much, bro. As I'm looking at the defense, they're playing great silent defense, bro. And as you guys know, I played college ball, played 4 years of high school football. As I can tell y'all, I'm not just this curator that just talk. You know, I know my shit. So they're playing great defense. I can't take that away from them. I kind of wish my Patriots can play better defense like that, but I will say that they have better cornerbacks. And then I will say that they have one safety that's better than the other safety. Like Poyer, I wish Poyer was on my team, the way Poyer plays. I think Poyer is low-key better than Michael Hott in a sense, but bro, this defense is nice. I'm not gonna lie.
SLs, which stands for a pre-snap look, where depending on if there are 2 deep safeties or 1 deep safety, that's the side the quarterback will attack.
Yeah.
Up top is the Rams' 2 high beater, which will vertically stretch out the cover 2 flat defender, but would be a dead concept against 1 high cover 3. Psst, that's what they're playing. And then at the bottom is the Rams' 1 high beater, where they'll try and vertically stretch this hook dropper with the domino concept, which we'll continue to see. I know that was a lot of info, but to simplify it, if Stafford sees these guys stay deep, he'll look up top, and if he sees one drop down, he'll look at the bottom. It is critical, especially against veterans who have seen it all, to not tip any of these rotations pre-snap, because then they'll just pick you apart.
Damn,
but the Bills are so well coached, they don't give anything away. When a safety is rotating down, there needs to be space on the second level for him to rotate into. Poorly coached defenses would have Taron Johnson already shifted over, providing a pre-snap tell for Stafford. But when Johnson gives nothing away until the very last second, this makes Stafford just that much more uneasy, and he throws a little too early, sailing the ball over Kupp's head.
Damn, he sold on that play.
Some people get it, and some people can get it bad. And for those who do get it bad, it may...
You can see him wanting to manipulate Tremaine Edmonds to try and get him to take the cheese underneath to create a window. But when the left guard gets torched at the line, which happens all day, Stafford gets a little erratic. He knew the next time he'd have to really stress Edmonds to get him out of that domino window, but against quick pressure and tighter coverage, those make everything just harder.
That's true.
This is nearly the exact same look in every way. Same concept up top, same domino concept at the bottom, Taron Johnson disguising the coverage, and Stafford sensing the pressure, not feeling comfortable, and making an errant throw. If you watch his helmet, you can see him look at the rotating safety, realize he has to come back to the right since it's one high, picks up Edmonds with his eyes, tries to do the no-look thing he did in the Super Bowl to create some extra space, gets pressured, that causes the ball to sail, and this time gets intercepted. Against the same exact look again against the same exact coverage, Johnson disguising, the huge. This time, Stafford decides he's not that guy and he'll just throw the underneath sit route, but the Bills make an insane play, and at that point, all you can do is throw your hands in the air.
That's true.
To counter these late one-high safety rotations, the Rams went to their naked series, which Stafford, Goff, Cap, and Kirk, everybody who's played quarterback for Sean McVay has dominated with, but the Bills were ready for that too.
Yeah.
The idea behind this concept, if they are playing one high, is to have one receiver run off the corner, another running a deep cross, and usually a running back or somebody to the flat. This is great against one high coverages since nobody is there for the crosser, and if the safety starts cutting the crosser, you can start dialing up some double moves for the receiver back inside. So what do the Bills do? They do cut the crosser and have the cornerback fall off to the post.
About being smart as
this
a
isn't
safety.
actually too crazy of an adjustment, but watch how well Dane Jackson is coached to be ready for the double move. This creates a double team on Kupp and on A-Rob, and there's nowhere to throw at all.
Damn.
The Rams couldn't hit anything against the Bills' one-high rotations and couldn't throw anything deep when they were in two-high. Stafford had to keep dinking and dunking over and over, which explains why his ADOT was so low. And even when they tried to run two-high beaters, the Bills always seemed to be one step ahead.
Yeah,
In a lot of two-high coverages, when three receivers are lined up to one side, the Mike linebacker is usually asked to carry three up the middle, since generally the safety is responsible for two and the cornerback generally for one. So knowing the Bills kept playing too high, McVay thought he'd try and take advantage. I've thrown a lot of different nerdy football stuff at you guys today, so we won't dive too far into what Nick Saban calls Cover 7 Stubby. We'll just look at Tremaine Edmonds' assignment within Saban's Arkham Asylum of coverage. McVay is anticipating Edmonds will carry Kupp deep, so he'll then have Higbee on this little mouse slant underneath to attack that space. But in Cover 7 Stubby, Edmonds posts up the number 3 receiver and then takes the first in.
And then takes
that
the
might
first
be
in,
Kupp,
yeah.
Tutu Atwell, or Higbee. So when Kupp goes too far,
Which is actually really smart. He's playing it, watching his eyes, and this is why I try to teach my younger homeboy about this. Like, all about don't keep your eyes in that backfield. You do your job, and everybody else can play good too. He had his eyes, and he played his zone real good. You see the guy coming in, because usually if a receiver goes in and does a drag, the linebacker has to pick that up. The linebacker don't have to be all the way back and deep and doing all that, looking around and stuff. You pick up that drag and you either kill him or you go for the pick. That's nice by Edmonds.
Vertical, Edmonds snaps his eyes inside, sees Higbee, and what was supposed to be a layup 5-yard pickup turns into a sack.
So they both
Cover
picked them up
7
on that
is
one.
really a quarters coverage, so when the Rams tried to run quarters beaters, the Bills used a crazy rotation to snuff it out and take away all
Edmonds
of
should
their
have came
options.
down on that. I don't know why he
We
stepped
should
back
also
so far.
quickly go over what the Bills did in the run game. It was pretty interesting, since when playing two high safeties all the time, you're down a guy in the box. And just like what the 49ers did against Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, like
God
we
damn, he
talked
put that
about a
lineman to
few
the
weeks
ground.
ago, the Bills shifted their defensive tackle into a two-eye technique over the inside shoulder of the guard, instead of a one technique with him over the outside shoulder of the center. Double teams are extremely important in McVay's zone blocking scheme, since he doesn't want to leave his guards on islands against massive defensive tackles.
Wow.
So this adjustment by the Bills put the center in conflict. If he quickly moves off the two-eye, that leaves him to blow up the run against a guard that can't block him. Or, like we'll see on this next play, if he and the right guard and right tackle hold their doubles, the linebackers fly through the line and ruin the play.
Damn.
Pass rush wise, they didn't do anything too crazy. They used some load fronts to put 3 on one side of the ball and used some stunts to try and cause a little confusion. But basically, every one of their guys were more powerful and faster than every one of the Rams linemen. And when you have that, paired with great coaching and execution in the back 7, you're gonna win a lot of games. I don't think the big takeaway from this game is that the Rams were horrible or the Bills were really good.
The Bills just played great.
Okay,
defense,
the Bills
as I
might
can
be
see.
really good. But the fact that defenses are getting more and more comfortable dropping 7 and not blitzing is what I think is most important.
Damn, Tyreek.
2 high safety coverages take a safety out of the box and stick him deep, so now you have 1 less guy closer to the box, so it makes it a little harder to stay sound if you're bringing the blitz. We will continue to see these 2 high ripple effects permeate throughout the league as we carry on into the season and future. And with defenses blitzing less and less, that means offenses should have more time to hold the ball and let things develop deep. The answer to defenses playing more passive than ever is to dink and dunk and bide your time. Then when you force them to move up, you knock them down by going deep.
Yeah.
Quarterback play was already at a premium.
But that was
now,
raw as hell.
that's more than ever. So with these new defensive trends already spread throughout the league, it's time for the offense to stand up and fight back.
Damn, bro, that was hard. That was hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie. If you guys want me to react to more of these, man, let me know down below in the comments. That was hard. I ain't gonna lie. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay swagged up.